up, guys? How are you doing today? Welcome back. Thanks for stopping by and talking with me for a little bit about some movies. Before we get started, why don't you click that like and subscribe button, and we'll get this underway here in a minute. Now, I was going to start, this is November, of course. We're a few days in, but a lot of people are doing this thing called No Nuts November, right? And I can't do that. I need my peanuts and my cashews and my pistachios. I love nuts. Can't go without them. So I'm not doing that, but I was going to do No Movie November. But then I realized I wouldn't be able to drop a review. Couldn't talk to you guys about any movies for a month. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to do that to me. I'm not going to do that to y'all. So today, we're going to be talking about a movie that came out just on Friday, guys. Came out last week. It's called Elevation, okay? And this stars Anthony Mackie and Morena Baccarin. And then it's got about like 4 other people in it, and that's what makes this movie great, is the small cast leaves room for character development. We're not following 100 different characters all over God's creation, trying to figure out what's going on. That's not happening here. This is very self-contained, very simple, and it's beautiful science fiction. I really, really enjoyed it. It's directed by a guy named George Nolfi, right? And now, Mr. Nolfi, I did not look you up. I didn't bother to look you up because I don't care what else you made. This is the best I've seen so far. And if I see another one of your flicks, I might like it as well because you did excellent with this one. But let's get into Elevation, guys. Elevation is about these creatures emerge from sinkholes a few years ago, after this takes place a few years after the catastrophe has happened, and so they emerge from these holes. They just kill people and all that good stuff. Just, try to wipe out the human race. But if you can get above 8,000 feet in elevation, they won't follow you up there. So you've got the human race basically living up in these high mountains, cold, all that kind of stuff. Thin oxygen. Well, our main character, Anthony Mackie, he has a son, and his son has like COPD or something like that, where he has to have like, oxygen. He has to have filters in the oxygen machine, all kinds of stuff. He has really bad lungs. And so they were up in these mountains living, and oh, lo and behold, he has run out of air filters. And so we follow Anthony Mackie in the pursuit, in the quest of finding air filters to save his son's life. And in the process, in his small community, Morena Baccarin is a physicist who escaped up there too. And she led an expedition that wound up getting some people hurt. And now he has an issue with her, but she wants to go with him because she thinks she knows a way to kill these things. Because bullets don't do nothing. Grenades and explosions might knock them out, but it don't do nothing to them. So she's trying to figure out a way to, kill these monsters, these creatures. And so that's basically our plot. Guys, that is the simplest of science fiction, and they did excellently with it. It's self-contained. There's no grand scale. It's not opulent. It's not a decadent science fiction movie where you're watching for the ooh and the ah of the special effects. The coolest special effect in this is the creatures. And they're CGI, but they don't look terrible. There's some instances where I'm like, that could have been better. But when it counts, they look excellent. The creatures look like a cross between a scorpion and like a mole cricket. To me, that's what they look like anyway. Or like a scorpion and a spider and a cricket combined. It's a very insectile looking creature, and I love that they hunt us by our breath, by our CO2 that we emit when we breathe. And so I thought that was a really, really cool mechanic for the creatures to have. It's almost like the Predator's heat vision, but they see, our breath. Now, there's no crazy special effects like the creature stalking someone and they're breathing and you can see like the heat coming off of their breath or their, the carbon dioxide or whatever. There's none of that, but the creature hunting vision, it's cool. And I like the sounds the creatures make. They sound like pod racers from Star Wars Episode 1, but like in a deeper, more guttural sound. They're very ominous sounding, especially when hunting, when they're stalking prey. It's like go, 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 but it's deeper and don't sound as weird as that. You know what I mean? But The creatures are cool. I really liked the creatures. I thought they were cool. And I liked that story because again, we have Anthony Mackie, we have Morena Baccarin, we've got another girl that I have a feeling, I didn't write her name down, but I feel like I've seen her other places. And those are really our only three characters that we deal with. Oh, other than the little boy, the son. Those are the only four characters that we deal with in the whole of the film. And I like that because, again, it lends itself to character development. And I'm a stickler for that. If you're just going to give me a bunch of superfluous, characters that are there for fodder, cool, but you better have a cool story and a reason for why they're getting, chopped up and killed off. Like, this was excellent because you get engaged with the story itself. Two, you get engaged with the characters because you need characters that you feel something for, that you have an emotional attachment to. There's so many movies nowadays that don't have that. You just, like I said, these superfluous characters, these throwaway characters that don't make, whether they're in the movie or not, can make a lick of difference. In this film, without these characters, there would be no movie, because all we have is these four. And it is just the way the story's told, the way these characters are developed, the backstory that is told through their conversations, not in flashbacks. Now, there are a couple of flashback scenes, excuse me, but for the majority of the film, you learn the history of what happened before all this through their conversations, and the conversations are real, they're powerful. Some of them, the important conversations are good. Some of the more throwaway dialogue is very generic and trope, but when it comes to the actual storytelling and the development of the characters through storytelling, it is done exceptionally. And I just really, really liked Elevation, guys. I think that if you want to watch something that is, simple science fiction, nothing you have to you're not going to be oohed and awed by it, but you like the storytelling. You want character development. You want a movie that has meat and potatoes to it. This would be the one for you. I highly recommend going and seeing it. I'm going to give Elevation two thumbs up because it's great, guys. And you should just, when you get a chance to go to the theater and you have it, you're looking through all your options, give this one a shot, guys. Thanks for stopping in, my friends. I really, really appreciate it. If you've made it all the way to the end of the review, by all means, please like and subscribe. And guys, I am going to keep making these as long as you keep watching them. Peace out, my friends. God bless you, and I will see you soon.